Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to be talking about none other than the Giant XTC SLR 29.2. So I am very excited about this bicycle, but I will get into why I'm so excited about it at the end of the video. It's not so much the bike itself, but what the bike stands for. It is not without its flaws, but for the price point, this bike is a jammin' bike. Before we get to the bike shop, let me just say thank you all for subscribing and liking the channel. The response has been huge, and I appreciate every one of you guys. If you are new to the channel, I try to review as many bicycles as I can. Not so much review, I try to do unboxings. If I have my hands on one like this XTC where I can actually ride the thing, I will put out a true review. But this is a first impressions video, more or less. I also cover my races. It's just anything that has to do with bicycles. If you know me, you know that I love the two-wheeled machine. But if that is something you're into, make sure you like the video. Subscribe, stick around. Let's just get to the bike shop. Let's look at this thing. We're gonna take it out of the box. We're gonna weigh it. And I will see you guys after the videos. I got a couple things to talk about. So I've got some thoughts about this bike. So far, I'm really excited for it, but I'm really excited for what, in my opinion, that Giant's going after with this bike, what market they're going after, more so than I am the actual bicycle. And I shall get to that in a little bit. But let's run through the specs really quickly. Let's back up. If you didn't see the Fathom video that I just completed, I will put a link in one of these corners here. You can watch it because I do believe that this is kind of the brother or sister bike to the Fathom. They're very similar, different purposes intended though. The Fathom is definitely more of a trail-oriented hardtail. This is a race XC-oriented hardtail. Now I don't want to make anyone shy away from this bike if you're not intending to race it, but if you want a fast, lightweight, cross-country, sub $2,000 hardtail, this is super nice. The weight was spot on for what I thought it would be after doing the Fathom video. We'll stick around to the end, we'll weigh this puppy as well. Let's just go right into the specs. So, you have to keep in mind, this thing retails at $1,300. That's a smoking deal in my opinion. So if you start with the wheels, Giant says they're brand new XCT wheels. They look the same as all the other wheel sets that Giant's come out with. I don't think there's anything revolutionary about them except that they are tubeless ready right out of the box at $1,300. I do believe once you get probably over $800, your bike should be tubeless. It does come with some nice Recon race tires. They're EXO, tubeless ready. They don't have like the 3C compound or anything, but this is a very nice tire. The guy that's buying this made a good point. What he's probably gonna end up doing is taking this front tire off, saving it, putting a beefier front tire on it, using these just for the rear. That's something that I recommend doing. I do love the Recon race, but I tend to want something a little bit meatier on the front. Maybe like an Ardent race in a 2.35, or they even do the Recon race in a 2.3. So we got the tubeless wheels. The brakes, The brakes are just the generic MT201s. They're not terrible brakes, but I don't like the levers on these things. That is a personal preference. I think most people though do prefer like the single digit levers like the SLX or even the Dior level are coming with those now. But they're Shimano brakes. At $1,300, this bike's coming with Shimano brakes. Definitely don't want like the SRAMs or even the Tektros haven't been terrible, but they are a little bit more of a pain to bleed than the Shimanos, but that's getting into the weeds of it. So this is coming with full SRAM SX, as we mentioned in the Fathom video. This is coming with an SX rear derailleur. First upgrade I would do on this bicycle, take this off in about a month, throw it in the garbage, and get a GX. We've had numerous problems with the SX rear derailleur. I love the SRAM product, but they tend to do a very good job with their higher end stuff, not so much the entry level stuff. Like Shimano Dior, top-notch quality. Have had no problems out of it, but it's a little bit more expensive. I haven't looked at the retail price point of Dior, but I know they come on a little bit more expensive of a bike. But I do, just for vanity's sake, I do like the full black cassette that's on this bike with the black on black bike. Speaking of colorway, the color's not bad. It's black on black, but I would probably, you know, throw some grips, maybe a different stem on it. I need a little sprucing up for this bike. It's a very, very safe colorway, if that makes any sense at all. Hey, there goes Troy. Hey, Troy. It's very safe colorway, and Giant, anytime they come out with a new bike, I feel like they go conservative. This bike's $1,300. It's a very conservative colorway. I haven't actually seen the other one yet. Generic seat post, stem, and handlebar combo. Nothing to write home about in those areas, but they get the bike rolling. Now the fork, I'm very excited to ride this bike because this is coming with the Giant Crest 34 100mm fork on it, and it does have a remote lockout. I was not expecting this bike to have a remote lockout on it. Headset is a tapered headset. It does have the dub crank on it. I kind of expected the crank to be a little bit cheaper at this price point, excuse me. I just had 2 cups of coffee. I'm probably gonna have to take a pee break before I finish this video. No dropper, obviously. So why exactly am I excited for this particular mountain bike? Because people have said, like, why would I be excited for it when I've already got an Orbea Oise? But that's not the point. Like I tell people, I am super excited for all things bicycle and getting new people into the sport. At this price point, at $1,300, it's full on 12 speed. It is a bike you can take, upgrade part by part if you want. But what this bike is aimed for is, in my opinion, getting people into the sport of mountain biking and mountain bike racing. Around here, where I'm at, in the Charlotte area, I have ridden all of Whitewater Center, every trail on a single speed with 100mm of travel on the front, and I've ridden most everything out there on a fully rigid single speed. So when people ask, like, do I need X amount of suspension? No, you don't need it. It is a preference and it is a riding style. But what this bike does is it is a good entry-level race machine. That's what I think this is aimed after. If you want something a little bit more trail-oriented, Fathom is definitely the counterpart to this bike, but both are made out of the SLR aluminum, so this is the highest quality aluminum that Giant makes. I wanna see all the people that buy this bike, what they do with it, how they upgrade it, because this is almost, to me, like you're buying a good base platform to do with what you want. Giant essentially put on this bike what they needed to get it out the door. Nothing is particularly amazing like the brakes. The brakes work, they're good brakes, they're gonna last you a long time, but you're not gonna go head over heels oogling and googling about these brakes. Same with the drivetrain, it's SX. SX leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's 12 speed, it's Eagle. You can get on this bike, you can change out just the derailleur if you wanted to, or just the shifter. That's why I'm so excited for this thing. There you have it. That's about all I got for you.
I'm gonna go with you. I'll just say 27 for the
it's
sake
already
of
got 2.
argument.
It's already got 2 on it. Oh, what'd I say?
Wow,
26.
you were right.
Is it on the ground?
That's hard to believe.
That's hard to believe too, yeah. Is that what's feeling? No.
I am gonna get to ride this bike. I'm actually gonna take it out for a spin tomorrow. One thing that I do love and that I'm gonna compare this bike to is I raced an XTC carbon hardtail for about 4 years, and that was probably some of my best and most fun racing that I've done. So I'm gonna compare it to that, definitely comparing it to what I'm on right now, which is Norbea Ois. If you wanna see that video, make sure you like and subscribe. I will get on it here the next couple days. We do have the finale of the King Creek Cup coming up this weekend. I will see everyone at that race. All right, guys.